There's a number on your oil cap right now. It wasn't put there by an engineer. It was put there by a lawyer. And it's costing you your engine. Toyota put it in writing. Internal Bulletin 2018. Identical engines, Japan and Europe run 5W30. In the US, they run on 0W20. Same engine block. Same tolerances. Different country, different oil. You know the only thing that changed? Which government was watching? You never signed off on that. Nobody asked you. And your engine's been running their decision ever since. They called it fuel economy compliance. I call it a swap. The moment a boardroom traded your engine protection for a line item on a government form. One decision, millions of vehicles. No announcement, no conversation. And they're still doing it today, right now, on the car in your driveway. Once you see this, you'll never look at a service sticker the same way again. I've spent 22 years working on engines. 4 of them I personally followed past the 350,000-mile mark. I've seen what's inside these things when the wrong oil runs too long. The engine sounds fine, looks fine. You'd never know from the outside. I've torn down motors that were quietly dying for 60,000 miles, and the owner had no idea. I'll be honest with you, I don't run what my cap says. None of the mechanics I know do. Not a single one of them. I had a customer, Ray, retired Navy guy, drove a Tundra, came into me back around 2012, did everything right. Every service, on time, exactly what the sticker said. Thought he was covered. I'll get to Ray. First, here's what I tested. 3 oils, same turbocharged engine, 7,500 miles each phase, 22,500 miles total. Lab analysis, wear metals, viscosity under load. Today I count down from 3 to 1. Number 1 is what I've run in my own vehicles for years. Not one engine failure. Not one. Here's what manufacturers will never publicly admit. There's a number. A single number on a government form that matters more to them than your engine protection. More than the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 you paid for that vehicle. More than the 200,000 miles you're planning to drive it. That number is called CAFE, Corporate Average Fuel Economy. Here's what happens when a manufacturer misses that target. He pays per vehicle, per year, millions, sometimes billions. And the cheapest fix to pull that number in the right direction without touching a single engine? Thinner oil across millions of vehicles, all at once. No engineering hours, no new components. One decision made in a boardroom. It's in writing. Toyota confirmed it in a technical service bulletin from 2018. Identical engines. In Japan and Europe, that engine runs on 5W30. In the US, 0W20. Same components. That's not an accident. And nobody had that conversation with you. Not your dealer, not the manufacturer, nobody. The oil on your cap wasn't chosen for your engine. It was chosen because it moves a fleet fuel economy number in the right direction. Plain and simple. Let me be specific. Oil doesn't protect through thickness alone. It protects through film strength, the layer between rotating metal that holds together under heat and load, between the crankshaft, the bearings, the camshaft. That's physics. Here's what happens to that film when the oil's been chosen too thin for your actual operating conditions. It breaks. Not immediately, not with a warning light. Quietly, mile by mile, over months. I've had these engines on my bench. Ray, retired Navy guy, drove a Tundra, came into me back around 2012, did everything by the book. Engine still running when he brought it in. Sounded fine from the outside. The bearing surfaces told a different story. That wear wouldn't be there with the right oil. No service advisor sees that. No warning light catches it. No manufacturer pays for it. A turbo failure runs between $1,500 and $2,800, sometimes more. Not because Ray was careless, because he ran what the cap said. He spent 40 grand on that truck, paid for every service, and the one decision that actually determines whether that engine makes 200,000 miles. That got made in a boardroom, without him in the room. But here's what they didn't count on. That you know. In 2 minutes I'll walk you through the test data, oil by oil, and which one of the 3 I've run in my own vehicles for years. Without exception. Not one engine failure, not one. Now you know who picked the oil on your cap, and why. So here's what I'm going to show you, what actually happens when 3 oils run through the same engine. 3 oils. Countdown from number 3 to number 1. Number 3 is what most drivers are running right now. Number 1 is the oil I've run in my own vehicles for years. The one mechanics choose when nobody's watching. Once you understand this, you're 10 years ahead of most drivers out on the road. Oil number 3. Remember Ray, the Tundra guy? He was running OW20. Did everything right. Thought he was covered. Here's what the lab showed after 7,500 miles. Viscosity had degraded by 13%. The manufacturer spec breached. Not barely, measurably below. Oil temps ran 8 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than the comparison oils, where metals, iron, aluminum, measurably higher. Looked clean in the bottle. Lab said something different. Here's the part nobody puts on the cap. In turbocharged engines, 0W20 can shear down to 16 weight after just 7,000 miles. That's below the minimum threshold that Garrett and Borg-Warner, the 2 largest turbocharger manufacturers on Earth, specify for bearing protection. That turbo's spinning at up to a 150,000 RPM. Cooled exclusively by oil. When the film breaks, bearing protection collapses. Ray didn't know that. Wasn't his fault. But if you think 0W20 is the whole problem, wait until you see what happens to the so-called champion. Oil number 2. On paper, 5W40 looks unbeatable. Highest film strength. Strongest heat resistance. Viscosity loss under load, under 2% after 7,500 miles. Oil temps ran 3 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than 5W30, where metals under sustained load, lowest of all 3 phases. If you're towing, pulling hard on the highway, driving in serious heat, 5W40 delivers. No question. Here's the problem though. Protection isn't just thickness, it's flow. A 10-minute commute. Short trip, stop and go. That's most people's daily driving. In those conditions, 5W40's strength never gets activated. Instead, higher cold start resistance, slower oil circulation, more pumping loss, right in the first seconds after startup, where the majority of daily engine wear actually happens. 5W40's a specialist. If your daily driving doesn't put you in specialist conditions, you're paying the resistance without the protection. I put this kind of content out every week, stuff no service advisor's gonna share with you. Hit subscribe if you want it. Now, number 1. What most videos in this space never say, comes right now. 4 engines, all personally followed. I'll show you the numbers. Oil number 1. Here's the oil not one technician recommends out loud, but nearly every one of them runs in their own vehicle. 4 engines, all personally followed, all past the 300,000 mile mark, all on 5W30. Not one bearing failure, not one. Here's what the test showed. Wear metals 35 to 40% lower than W20. Viscosity loss under 5% after 7,500 miles. Less than half of what Deere W20 showed. Bearing surfaces, cleanest wear patterns of all 3 phases. Cold start circulation more stable than 5W40. And here's why that's no surprise. When you actually read the manufacturer's paperwork, 5W30 was the original spec. Before the compliance swap overrode the oil on your cap, identical engines were running on 5W30. Same tolerances, same components. It's in the bulletin. 5W30 protects better than no W20, flows better than 5W40, and it doesn't move a regulatory number, which is exactly why it's not on your cap. That's why nobody says it out loud, and why everyone who actually knows just runs it. 3 oils, 1 result, 0W20, best fuel economy on the dyno, highest wear out on the road, chosen for a government form. 5W40, strongest protection under load. A specialist out of its lane in everyday driving. 5W30, 35 to 40% less wear metals. Most stable viscosity in daily driving. The oil that was supposed to be running in your engine before the compliance swap overrode it. Now you know what millions of drivers don't. What no service advisor's gonna tell you unprompted. What no oil cap will ever show you. Next time you're standing in that oil aisle, looking at the compliance stamp, the manufacturer approval, the eco rating, you'll remember who that decision was made for. Not for you. Hit like if this one was worth your time. But here's what no video in this space will tell you. It's not just the viscosity. It's what happens to the additive package past mile 5,000, after the detergents start depleting, after the anti-wear compounds are gone. That's where long-term engine life gets decided. Or lost. That whole video is right here.